What's going on, gang? Thank you guys for tuning back in. This time around, we're gonna go and do some rod bearing clearance. So I think what I'm gonna do this time around, we're gonna go ahead and grab one of the rods, put the bearings on, put some Plastigauge on, and then we're gonna torque it down. Probably just gonna do it in here, torque it down to the crankshaft, and then check our measurement. When I was doing the main bearing clearances, I was getting some confusing numbers between the dial bore gauge and the micrometer with the T gauge. And so I just decided to just go with Plastigauge and get it done. I'm ready to hear this engine making noises. And always, if you're enjoying the content, make sure you hit the like button. And in appreciation for it, here's the picture of a cute squirrel. So let's go ahead and get started. This feels like Christmas. This is just beautiful. I'm really excited about this, guys. I'm really a fan of Speed Factory and overall the products. So there you have it, guys. H-beam steel rod, nicely packaged. Overall, a good feeling. In comparison to a stock one, significant difference. So when I was selecting the rods that I was going to get for the project, budget was number one, but number two is, if we look in the stock rod, the oiling for the top risping is on the top. And if you look at the aftermarket ones, it's on the sides. So apparently, because this part on the top is one of the most stressed parts in the rod assembly, so that's why in the aftermarket ones they modified it. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and start weighing them as I unpack them. I got them all unpacked and ready to go. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied with the quality of them and everything so far. They also weigh within a gram from each other, so that was pretty nice. So now, before we get too carried away with the rods, we still need to go back and measure our journals. So let's go ahead and measure our rod journals. So I just completed measuring the rod journals. Pretty satisfied with the numbers so far. Let's see how our clearances go. Now we can go to our rods and install our bearings. I think I'm gonna go ahead and start with the HX, which are the extra clearance. So let's go ahead and knock it up. So we just got done installing the bearings on this first rod. We're gonna go ahead and torque it down and use the dial bore gauge and see where we at. We got our torque range dial already to 55 foot-pounds per instructions, and let's go ahead. So let's go ahead and put this bad boy on the vise and clamp it down. So we went ahead and torqued down a rod with the bearing. Now I got my dial bore gauge all dialed in. We're gonna go ahead and measure our clearance. I measured the journal and I zero it to the rod journal diameter. And now we're gonna see what our clearance is. I think we have about 25 thou. So right now I'm just really tempted to just put another rod on the journal, throw some Plastigauge real quick, double check the measurement, and if we get a 0.002, I think we're good. So I'm gonna call it good, and I'm kind of done with measuring. I'm ready to keep the ball rolling. I'm not trying to make 1,000 horsepower, but I think we should be okay. So let's go ahead and get a piece of Plastigauge. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but I was able to get the Plastigauge to stick. Let's see if it will stay while I put the rod cap on. So let's see if we can torque this bad boy down without moving it. Oh no. Now let's go ahead and take it apart and see if the Plastigauge stay in place or if it got a mess in there. So I'll pull the rod out and that is the smear I got. I'm pretty sure the rod shifted, moved around a little bit while I was torquing it, because there's no way with the extra clearance bearings it's gonna have 0.001 clearance. So it definitely smeared and shifted around. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do. I'll probably try to redo it in a different rod by using a different method. So let's see. So I think I figured out what I'm gonna do. I'm going to install the other bearings on the other rods, and with our dowel bore gauge. We're gonna go ahead and check our clearance. If everything checks out, we're gonna go ahead and check the box and move on with the project. So now that I got the two last rods assembled, I need to go back with the micrometer and go check our journal real quick, roughly to the journals I assigned them so far, and then we're gonna get ready to use our dowel bore gauge. So I don't know if this thing is telling me the truth or not, but it's saying that there's 30 thousandths. He's saying there's 30 thousandths clearance. So I don't know what to think now. So we still got one more to check. I think I'm gonna go ahead, torque it down, and see what it reads at. Back at it with 30 thousandths. What again? So I think we're just gonna leave it here and we're gonna send the guys. So that's gonna go ahead and wrap up this episode. Stick around, make sure you like, subscribe. Next episode is gonna be coming out. We're gonna be doing the ring gaps on the rings, and I think that's gonna be our last big thing before our assembly. So stick around, like, subscribe, become part of the tribe.